Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got.
Yo, what it do, YouTube? Hey, it's your boy Big Tex. Today we're watching Overpowered Anime Characters of 2020, bro. Hey, man, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the sub, like the video. Or don't. Hey, it's up to you. But hey, if you like anime, this is what we're here for, baby. All right, man. Hey, let's get right into it. Hey, peace, love. Hey, let me know if y'all getting that PS5, Xbox Series X. We got, 4 days away? 3 days? 3.5 days? Something like that. Just know I'm trying my best to get one. Peace.
Before we start, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of this video, Lord of Heroes. Lord of Heroes is an up-and-coming anime
Hey, y'all go sub to
that's
Vinny too, man. He
completely
come out
free
with
to play. Immerse yourself in the world
some
with
really
its
good
engaging
videos,
story
man.
and spectacular graphics and effects. It's a turn-based game that could remind you of some other games while giving you access to almost 50 knights who all come with their own charms and traits. If you're feeling a bit salty with your rolls, I've got some good news for you. Add a couple of zeros and turn those 1% odds into 100% odds when recruiting characters, because Lord of Heroes has no character gacha. Why not try that to go for the new upcoming character Sophie? In addition to adding new content, Lord of Heroes also introduces
Hey
a
guys,
brand new
also let me know
system. For only 2,000 crystals,
if you are
get a
getting
hero of
one
your
of the next
choosing.
gen
The best
consoles.
news is that it can be done
What games
3
you're gonna
times a
get for
month.
it?
So after watching this video, feel free to click the link in the description and start playing Lord of Heroes. A whole new world of fun awaits.
That's a great anime. Y'all should go watch it or read it. Both are good.
One of the most divisive
Got
and
up high school.
controversial topics in anime history, the overpowered character. Personally, I like discussing them. They're not my favorite character types, but there's really this unique kind of enjoyment seeing some characters just play one-man armies or blow an opponent out of the water with insane abilities that they seemingly keep whipping out of nowhere. Whether you love them or hate them,
Number one dude to do
overpowered
that
characters are
over
here
all
to
time
stay.
is
The year 2020 alone has seen a lot of them, either on the side of good, evil, and some in between. Join me as I take a look at some of the most overpowered characters that made their presence felt this year. We're not doing a countdown from 1 to 10 this time, for the most part, because how can we order these monsters according to power without causing a whole power level and who would win debate? So hit that subscribe button and let's get the ball rolling on this list.
Oh yeah. And the Wano series.
The nickname says it all. Kaido is known as the strongest creature for good reason. One of the 4 emperors, this humongous being is one of the Straw Hat's toughest adversaries to date. Given how long One Piece has been going on, that's really saying something. I think that when it comes to the sheer intimidation factor, few can match up with Kaido in his overpowering and terrifying appearance. Even our heroes are no match, and Luffy does go down in 1 hit. And if that's not enough, he also has a devil fruit that allows him to transform into a dragon, making the monster of an emperor even more of a threat to all life. In this form, his blast breath is truly one to be afraid of. I wonder how this insane creature can be overcome once everything's said and done. Time to praise the sun, because our next overpowered character of 2020 is Escanor from the 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah, but he was still getting smoked by Meliodas. If y'all seen it.
The latest season of 7 Deadly Sins, which aired this year, became famous and trending for a lot of the wrong reasons. A lot of it, unfortunately, has to do with how Escanor's fight got handled. However, that's got nothing to do with the state of the character that we're going to be focusing on. I'm sure that it's a given now that 7 Deadly Sins features an interesting take on shonen where everyone is overpowered. Then it makes sense to have someone to be a special kind of overpowered, as we can see with Escanor. At first glance, Escanor doesn't look like someone so overpowered compared to his peers, but with the help of some sunlight, the man turns into a beast. You just have to watch or read his fight with Meliodas to see that power in action. The two went blow for blow, but when the smoke's cleared, it's clear that Escanor has decisively won the fight. It's not easy to take down Meliodas, the leader of the 7 Deadly Sins, in battle, but Escanor did it to open up the year in dominant fashion. That makes him one of the most overpowered characters in 2020 in my book. We resume
I didn't watch
with another
Baki.
freak of nature in the midst of already powerful characters, Yujiro Hanma.
Hey, y'all see I'm watching the Santa
We've
Claus.
seen how anything goes in the world of Baki, and like Escanor, you have to be a special kind of overpowered in order to stand out and make it to this list. Luckily for Yujiro, he's the undisputed strongest character in the series. No ifs, no buts. Yujiro is at the very top of the Baki tier list, and no one even comes close. Where else can you see someone who can defeat an entire army's worth of opponents by himself? He was just a teenager at that time, mind you, and fought his battles with his bare hands. He has an arsenal that consists of pretty much every martial art known to man. Karate, boxing, taekwondo, you name it. If it's not in his arsenal, he can just learn it and master it immediately. That's just how good he is. The scary part about Yujiro is that as insanely powerful as he is physically, he's also quite the cunning fighter. You'd expect a fighter that's all brawn and no brains looking at him, but come on, how do you think that brute strength alone would put him where he is right now?
Damn, he kicked his fucking head off.
Speaking of taking on armies, how about taking on literal gods? Enter Tiamat. Cap off the thrilling ride that is Fate Grand Order Babylonia, our heroes take on literally the biggest enemy that threatens the continued existence of the human race as a whole. And they're not just taking on any god, they're taking on Tiamat, the mother of all life. And that title is not just for show. Initially dispatched with one noble phantasm, Tiamat emerges in her true form as she begins her march towards Uruk. A march that serves more like a countdown to destruction, as nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop her advancing. The good guys pretty much spend episodes throwing their best attacks at her to no avail, and even when she plunges down to where she's at her weakest, the hero still had a lot of trouble. In the anime, she only gets defeated with a combination of trait manipulating powers, having her power source hit, Talk no Jutsu, and Gilgamesh's Enuma Elish on her lone weak spot. What a raid boss it was, and the whole bunch of episodes for the boss fight was one of the most glorious sequences in the whole Babylonia series.
Sheer beautiful, man.
While we're not yet too far from Tiamat, the mother of all life isn't the only one who lost just because of an all-your-powers combined attack. The same goes for Sword Art Online's final antagonist in War of Underworld, Subtilizer.
Great show. Or decent show, it's not. They kind of got away from it. But I still like it.
Our heroes get one case of fake relief when Gabrielle, who logged in as Dark Lord Vector, got defeated by none other than Berkoli. Getting rid of a god account on the enemy side is such a big plus that it seems that the war has been won. Well, at first at least. The bad news for our protagonist is that Gabriel isn't truly dead and that he's already learned the truth of Underworld and how it works when he logs in with his actual gaming account, Subtilizer. In a world where willpower and imagination make everything possible, nothing can compare and stand up to the deranged machinations inside Gabriel's mind. Being able to will and imagine every attack only adds to his already insane skills in gaming and real-life military experience. We already know that Kirito is overpowered, but even he needed to get bailed out multiple times in the decisive clash, only winning with ally intervention and the literal powers of every being in Underworld combined in his attack. Like Tiamat, it's unlikely that Subtilizer loses cleanly in a straight-up fight against anyone. Next member of our overpowered character cast maintains a sinister appearance. Fresh off a TV series debut, we have Rai.
Boom. That man fire. If you haven't seen this show, you probably should. It recently came out like a month ago.
In the world
I
of
think they're like 4 or 5
there's a
episodes
character
in.
synonymous with overpowered, and that's none other than Rai of Noblesse. First off, Rai is the Noblesse, the most powerful of the nobles, having woken up years into modern society and not lost a step. Kind of like another character that we'll be featuring further down the line, as a matter of fact. I made this joke in Rimuru before, but just look at Rai's wiki page and just look at that list. His mere presence is enough to scare people, and he has the powers to justify that reaction. Even in universe, it's agreed upon that Rai's the most powerful character, and the world of Noblesse has a lot of people that are no slouches in any definition of the word. Then again, with an appearance and a brooding aura like that, are we really surprised? Koreans sure love their overpowered characters. I say that because our next overpowered character is also a Korean creation. So now we move on to Jinmori. Does God of High School's protagonist live up to the name of the tournament? Let's say yes.
Man, stupid cold.
God of High School has had a turbulent run, the most out of the summer 2020 shows, I'd say. No matter what your opinion on the adaptation is, though, I guess we can agree that for someone who got an ass-kicking as his motivation to enter the tournament,
oh, also Solo Leveling, if you've been reading,
in an astounding
is
manner.
coming
God of High School really is an anime that's all
adaptation.
about fights, and it's those fights that allow the anime team to at least showcase what Jin is capable of. He may not be insane as Rai in terms of power, but consider the fact that Jin is just a 17-year-old human. Right? Right? I won't be spoiling important plot points down the line, but without the benefit
you
of
just have to watch, man. It's
early
just,
Jin and his powers are a sight to behold.
He gets
if you
so
want to
much
see
better
more of
as
him
it
in
goes
action,
on.
please read the webtoon for God of High School. Trust me, the anime just doesn't show enough in the adapted episodes, and Jin's powers get even crazier the further you go into the webtoon.
A lot of these webtoons are starting to come out, and they're a lot better than any anime that's out right now. Ooh.
Our runner-up is Dengeki Bunko's poster boy for overpowered protagonists, Tatsuya Shiba. What can Tatsuya not do, really? In Season 1, he brought himself back to life. He did the same for his allies. He can decompose all kinds of magic. He can win a shootout against a sniper using his pistol. He can melt a runaway truck from inside a building. The list just goes on and on and on. No wonder he became a meme character. Well, now that we've got a second season of Irregular at Magic High School airing, expect to see more of the same. Having read the light novel, I'd say that his feats this season will be toned down a little bit. But make no mistake, he's still broken the protagonist that we all laughed at half a decade ago. Only a fool would underestimate the old God of High School. At least that's what I would have said had the next character not existed. Tatsuya would have easily topped the list, but his reign as the poster boy for overpowered memes gained a sudden new challenger this 2020. Look, for how overpowered he is, at least Tatsuya still does things within the bounds of logic in his world.
Yes, sir. Another great show y'all should check out. Arnold's Voldigo.
And the new poster boy for overpowered characters in 2020 is Arnos Voldigode. Misfit of Demon King Academy really is the one-punch man of power fantasy light novels. We make memes out of Tatsuya,
and the man is
but even he
just
had his
stupid
ever
cold.
slight
Like,
moments where he can't do or know it all. Not for Arnos.
the man can do anything.
In fact, a sarcastic person would say that Misfit of Demon King Academy's point is all about parodying the overpowered character archetype and exaggerating it to hilarious levels. I personally find merit with the character dynamics and the story in other ways to defend the show.
And it has
as
a
not
plot
just being
twist.
such, but come on, just look at his feats. He can't even die if he's killed. He kills people without contact only to revive them just so he can kill them again. He can transform people at will after beating them. The list just goes
he does it for a reason.
and on. And I don't know if anyone else would fit the bill of being 2020's Mr. Overpowered than the Demon Lord member of the Dengeki Bunko trio. Oh look, we stopped at 9
Probably my
characters.
favorite
Do you have
anime
any
right
character
now.
in mind to fill out the list so that we can reach 10 entries? Share it
No,
with
they
in
didn't
the
show
comment
it.
section below. I'd
Jujutsu
love to see
Kaisen.
what you have in mind.
Go check it out.
I also had honorable mentions in
Hey,
mind,
man.
like Mikasa Mikoto 5.3.
If y'all like the video, go ahead
I don't
and
think that they quite
drop
make
a
the
damn
cut.
like
Either way,
on it.
hope you had fun as we start
And
the
if you
race to
don't,
end 2020.
I know where you
It's been
live,
quite fun
so
despite
I'm
the year
fine.
being a downer overall.
That's
and I
it.
think that the anime industry had one great
hey, man.
recovery. Before you leave, make sure to
here
subscribe
on
so
the
that you
journey.
can be the first in line for the next video.
Like I said, we hit 60
Don't forget to
subscribers.
check
We're going
out
to try
our
and hit
sponsors of
at
this
least
video,
70,
Lord of
65
Heroes. The
by
links
the
in
end
the
of the year.
description.
Got
I'll see you next
a
time
month
on ViniTube.
and a half left, so I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking around.